Hey, this is going to be a quick video tutorial on how to make your first Magicka Wizard Wars mod. In the end, I want to recreate the health number mod. It'll show both your current health and maximum health and attach those values to all players so you can see the actual health values. It'll be a simplified version of the mod that was already released by Predacious, but feel free to edit it afterwards. To start off with, we're going to set up the project folder. So I have my projects here. I'm going to make a new folder. Open that up. And then download, unpack both the documentation and sample mod. I'm going to be building everything off of these. And then just drag those in. We're going to rename the sample mod. Now, we want to only edit what's in this folder. I'm adding the documentation here so that we can actually get the IntelliSense and autocomplete working in the project itself. I'm going to be using Visual Studio, and what we're going to do is actually just open this folder. Then Visual Studio will actually look into both documentation and your project. So it'll give you IntelliSense for the functions. It'll show you what they actually do. Then we're going to rename our project here. Make sure you don't remove the init from the name. It does need that there. This is essentially what tells the mod launcher which file is starting up your mod. You can have other files as well, but the one essentially that initializes needs to have init in the name. Then I'm going to open up this project folder. And just open on the other monitor here. So you can see there's two folders here, the documentation and then the actual mod folder. This is all the code that's included in the sample project. I'm going to delete a lot of it soon. And then this is the documentation. So in the scripts folder, this is essentially just some stuff included with the mod launcher. So it includes the ability to save settings for mods and adds a bunch of useful stuff so you can get like unit data without having to dig through the actual game code yourself. And then the mod itself, essentially how it works is you subscribe to different states in the game and then pass in a function, and then that function will be called whenever the game is running. For example, in the menu, on the menu's initialization, I want to also initialize my mod. Or in game, when the match starts, I want to initialize my in-game for this mod. And you can do the same for updates. At the top of the file, we have our requires. So anything that we're going to be using will always need state subscriber. That is essentially the Lua mod extender. That's what all the Lua mods are going to be based off of. You will also always need this. This is actually part of the base game itself, or the base code. And then anything else that you'll need. So if you're going to be loading settings, you'll need file or saving anything. And unit functions is usually going to be used in the mod. Then let's rename this. maybe like that. And I'm just going to get rid of actually a bunch of stuff that we're not going to need. So in the info, we can update a few things here. Settings, you can add your own settings here. You could use set up keyboard shortcuts. And then hidden settings. So you do not need either of these, but if you want to save user data to disk, you can use these two things. Hidden settings will essentially encrypt the save file so that you can't just physically edit it. And in here, so we can leave that. And that's all fine here. There's a few things we can leave there. In-game init, here we go. So first off, maybe let's just install this and see what it actually does right now. So I'm going to open up the mod loader. Before you make any projects, make sure you update it to the latest version. So just go to download and then script extender download. And there we go. You can see it installed there. And let's launch. Oh, hold the phone. We maybe want to install the mod first. So when you're installing the mod, you want to drag and drop, or when you're building the mod rather for the first time, packing it, we want to drag and drop just this folder. You don't want to include the documentation. It'll automatically name it for you, and then you do have the option to compile to the widget. I don't recommend you do that when you're building the mod for the first time, because it will reduce how helpful any logging is. And if we have crashes, we definitely want to know what's going on. Then it will automatically install for you, and now let's launch. Okay, so we can see there's a kind of a box here that's part of the setup. And then here we have also, it looks like some text, which is actually showing the position of the player. So actually, before I get to the fun stuff here, modifying this, I'm actually going to just make a part 2. Yeah, so I think this is the end of this video. This is essentially how to set up the project. See you in the next video.